Oh, just say scrap.
Oh, just say scrap.
As something new.
As something new.
It's Make It Mondays just for you. So come and see what we are creating. Make It Mondays just for you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to our third Make It Mondays. So today we are working with Memory Lane. And we know that this one retired September 30th of this year, but we did it and we wanted to make sure that we got it out here anyway for all of you that ordered it. And there is Blair just smelling my Spectrum Noir markers, as my cats will be interrupting all of these videos. So we are just coloring these stamps that we had already stamped. This was from the special stamp that actually came with Memory Lane, called Memory Lane, and we're just coloring them based off of what the Close to My Heart guide was. So we did pre-stamp these on White Daisy and then fussy cut them out. They do not have thin cuts, so it was just hand cutting, and we figured you don't need to see us hand cutting everything, so we just did it this way first. We also are only coloring one of each. I know I colored two of the yellow ones, but we just wanted to show you how each of them looked once, and voila, there we go. We've got all of them already pre-colored. So now, time to start putting our pages together. This kit specifically has a single page used as a cover page, and then we also have 3 layouts. So you're going to get 7 pages in total. What I'm doing here is I am just putting together a few of our pieces. As you saw there, I had cut those small, tiny little strips, and then we had also cut out the scallops, which was told to do, and I just adhered them to that diagonal piece. I thought this was going to be a lot easier for me to do when I had to put the whole page together later on than actually doing it then, because I could make them even that way. So as you see, that piece now goes on. I did lift one up just because it didn't fall over the edge as much as I wanted to, but then I just snipped off those edges, and voila, we are now even with our White Daisy base. So that little gap that's in there is going to be covered by this photo mat, which is going to make life so much easier. And there's Nala now interrupting my video as we continue on with this page. So with these videos, we obviously are not doing the cutting guide with you because you do have that from Close to My Heart. This one was a special because it has a CC number, which means it's a constant campaign, and those are guides online. So I didn't print this out. I'm actually using my laptop. Unlike the other two where I had the guide next to me, this is actually on my computer screen. And as you see here, we are just taking our blending brush and using that sage ink to get some really pretty color on our base pages here after we put most of it together, and then we're going to embellish on top of that. So we're just adding some stickers, adding those colored flowers that we had made and popping them up, and we are embellishing this page. I am a big believer in paper saving, so if you want to paper save any of your photo mats, you totally can. That sapphire piece could be done with the paper saver method, and you could get more sapphire, but that's just something that I like to do. I did not do it this time around, but just some tips that you can do it. So just another embellishment that is really cute, and if you're not a stamper, that's totally okay. You could always use something else, but Close to My Heart was created because of the stamps. Jeanette really, really loved making these polymer stamps, and so adding them as parts of our embellishments on pages really does make a difference. Even just adding those small hearts up top made a difference because we're now stamping, here we go with some more, we're just stamping them onto the page itself, which just gives some more dimension and more character to your pages and changes up those backgrounds a little bit. And as you see, we obviously have been stamping and coloring them as well on White Daisy, cutting them out and popping them up, but you can just stamp right on your pages. We have tons of videos, where you create your background paper with them and all that stuff, but just using them also as embellishments on your page just enhance your page a little bit more. So if you're afraid of stamping, don't be. Go watch our Technique Tuesdays on stamping, our Stamping 101, and we hope that we will help you get a little bit more confident in stamping. So once again, for those of you who are just joining us on our Make It Mondays, we have an all-purpose mat off to the side with our anti-static pouch in it. And we use that to use the anti-static pouch. It's actually an all-purpose mat that's cut into 4 pieces because we want to keep that powder a little bit separate and not on our workspace. So by doing so, and by having that on the side, we are able to move it around on our work desk without getting powder all over everything, and we can then pull it back into our project areas when we need it. So our cover page is now done. We moved on to layout number 1, our full layout, not our cover page. And we did some blending in the corners and on a few pieces of our B&T paper that we used, our base and texture paper. And now we're using that T-square ruler to start to put this page together. So the directions, like I said, I have on our laptop, and I'm just following them as we're going. I do have my rub and remove eraser at the ready in case I need to unstick some glue that has gotten onto spaces. You saw that actually on the first page that we did, the cover page. And then we are just laying this page together. If you do purchase our scrapbooking kits, they do come with the photo mats in them for you to use, so you can place those down. As you see, these photo mats don't actually have cardstock around them or B&T paper around them. They are just glued onto the layout directly. If you would like to get some, we can also get them for you. They are a supply item for Close to My Heart makers, but if you would like some for your own use just for everyday pages, contact us and we can always get those for you too. Or what we like to do is, if you watch when we put these down, we only put a little bit of glue right into the center of them. And that way, when we actually get our real photos and we put them on the pages in the spots that they're supposed to be, we can take those up and then reuse them later on. So that's also, once again, why we have our rub and remove, because we are able to then just erase that little bit of glue that's been on there and we can use them as brand new pieces. So we took some stickers off of our sticker sheet, we ripped them a little bit to create those washi tape looks, and then that was the first page of our first layout. So we're on to the second page. Just to go back to that a little bit, we did use a LePen to help create that banner, and then used our stickers and popped them up a little bit to give some dimension. And now here we are back on this page. So we're just going to start to put our second page together using our glue. If you didn't see any of our last videos, if I have a small strip, I do like to use our liquid glue for that. With a zip strip or a strip that is a 1/2 inch, our glue actually is the perfect size for those pieces, so there's no need to use the liquid glue. But if I have something that is a 1/4 inch or less, I definitely use our liquid glue putting them down. So once again, we have some photo mats just glued directly down to our layout. Another thing with these two is they are archival safe, like all of the Close to My Heart stuff that we do have. So what I really like about them is, if for some reason I want to have a white background around my photo or a white photo mat around it, I can then later on also take some more adhesive and really adhere that photo mat down and then just put my photo on top of it. And then you have an automatic white background around your photo, which is a really cool technique to do if you wanted to add white backgrounds around your photos. So once again, we took that long strip of a sticker and ripped a little bit off of it, so we created those washi tape looks, taking that melon stamped heart once again all over the page just to give a little bit more dimension and flair to these pages, and then just adding on the rest of our embellishments, our stickers, making them into pop-ups and everything like that, and having that little journaling spot on this page. I've talked about journaling before, but journaling is super important on pages. Sometimes you want to tell a story or something, but I always love that you can physically write on your pages. When you physically write on it something, you then have your handwriting on there for generations to come. So just think about that when you go, oh, my handwriting's gross. Well, guess what? Your great-great-grandchild will love to see your handwriting. So that's what we do as scrapbookers, right? We create memories and stuff. So here again, I'm using that liquid glue just to put some of these down and create our base paper, and then we are going to embellish a little bit more on this. So once again, taking those stamped and colored flowers and adding them to our pages as some embellishments. I really, like I've said in the past, am putting a lot of tape on this because I do not want them to end up being bent or folded once they actually get into my albums. I want them to stay strong and popped. And then we're just popping some of our stickers, once again making them not stickers anymore and using them as popped embellishments. So with some of the bigger stickers that I am unpopping, I like to actually use the all-purpose mat and rub against it instead of putting the anti-static pouch on it directly. I just find that it picks up a lot of the powder that I have on my mat, and then it makes it less powdery for when I have to move it, and I'm not wasting any powder that is actually on the mat and really getting the most out of my anti-static pouch. The way we used to do it is actually we used to take the sticker, put the foam tape on it first, and then use the anti-static pouch to go around the parts of the foam. It worked for a very long time. It definitely does the job still, but I felt like we were kind of wasting more powder because powder was going more places than just on the sticker. And when you actually just take a flat sticker and unpop it a little bit, the foam tape will still stick to it. So you're not wasting the foam tape because it's becoming unsticky. It still is sticking to it because you're not completely taking the stickiness off. You're just making it so it doesn't adhere to your page, but other things will still adhere to it. So now we are starting to put together the next page here, also once again using that liquid glue to put down those skinnier pieces and then just adhering everything else. As you saw there, one of my glue things ran out, so I just replaced it with the replacement runner and it worked out perfectly. So I always like when we have pages that kind of go into each other is lining it up actually with the other page, not with the ruler. I just find that we get a better, more accurate representation of where it's actually going to lay when the pages are together when we do it together. So that's why I lined those two pages up and did it that way instead of just measuring up however many inches I needed to. Now once again I am just pulling off those stickers that we are making into pops and I am putting them all onto my all-purpose mat over there. I like to kind of find all of the stickers I need at one time because that way I can just make them all unsticky and then we can just get to popping them all right away, which makes everything so much easier than having to keep going back to the drawing board for that. And then we are going to do a little bit of stamping once again here. So we have that white daisy piece that we cut. I just trimmed off some excess because my blade does need to be changed. And we are going to stamp the so much on that piece of white daisy. So then we are just popping up some more of those stamped flowers. We added another one of the words on the bottom of the so much white daisy, and that gives it some dimensions as well. And then we have the so much fun. The fun we also had to fussy cut out just so we could pop it. And I got pretty close to it, but you don't have to get as close as I did. I just thought it looked really good. So on to page number 6 and 7. So you've heard me say before that I really was never a T-square ruler person. I just didn't like to use rulers when I was measuring things. However, I find that using it is just so easy. And I really love that it matches up with the VersaMat too, that we can use that to kind of keep things level on the sides there. And it just makes everything look really, really nice. So we are just putting this page together. I actually accidentally put my two photo mats onto the opposite sides of the cardstock because we do have two-tone cardstock, but I really kind of like how that looks. So we just kept it and we rolled with it there. So you can change little things up like that however you like. If you like the opposite side of a paper than what we are using, flip it over because this is your pages, remember. So make it what you want it to be. Close to My Heart has created an amazing guide for us, but doesn't mean that you can't change it up and kind of add your own style to it. So we are just coloring that house in again and then popping it up on top of that tree. We are unsticking some more of these words that are on the sticker sheet. They are just so cute and they add a lot to our pages. And then we're taking these blending brushes again and just going over some more cardstock to give a little bit of pizzazz to some of these pages. Another thing I really love about Close to My Heart paper is they do have things called zip strip on the top of the B&T papers. And these are just a 1/2 inch by 12 strips. And you can take them and use them as design elements on your pages. So you can see the one that I just cut, that's a zip strip. You can see it actually has the product number on it and it has some writing. It's because it gives you the number of the paper pack, it also gives you the name of the paper pack, and then it gives you the coordinating or featured colors in the paper pack. So if you are ever using a base and texture paper, look at that to see what colors are actually in the pack that you're using, and it will be an easy way to pick coordinating colors for your paper. So just a fun fact if you did not know that already. With putting down this stripe piece, I actually liked to line it up where the two middle pieces were the same color. So I had that melon, like that watercolor melon in the middle. So if you go back a little bit, you can see that I actually lined those two up. I think I had to flip the cardstock over so I got those two pieces of colors to be the same, but that was just a little design element on my part that I really liked. And then we started to put this page together like we put our other base page together. So this tree, I actually did cut off that rope swing. It was not necessary for this, and we had it on the other page, so we just kind of altered that tree a little. I could have, if I wanted to, while I was stamping, have used our masking tape to mask that, but the way I cut it, it actually worked out well, and I thought this was a cute element that the house only had the little bit of the inside of the windows colored, and it kind of was different than coloring the full window like we've done on the past few houses. So then we're just gluing that house down with our foam tape and adding some other embellishments onto this page. So we're just unsticking them like we have done in the past with everything, adding our different dimensions of thin and thick foam tape, and just giving this page the pizzazz that it needs. So since I had messed up the other page with the two-toning of the photo mats, I did the same thing on that one. And now we are going back and adding all of our wood grain flower die cuts. So this was something that came with the kit. When I got the kit from Mom, we accidentally left these at home. So this is an add-on as well if you would like to add these to your pages. So when I got them, we just went back, added them on with our glue dots, and they do really give cute elements to the page and just a little bit more dimension, a little bit more change. What's really nice about these die cuts is you can always ink them as well. So if you want to take a blending brush or a sponge, you can get some really nice color into these die cuts. But I really liked the way that the wood grain looked on these pages. I really thought that it gave them the finishing touches that they needed. They obviously look beautiful without them, but adding them just adds a little bit more of a touch to them. So that's why we did go back and do that. And then we are going to have our finished pages of our memory lane. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Make It Monday. I know that this special once again did end on September 30th, but a lot of you do have it, and we do have it in our store. So if you would like to get it, if you missed out, let us know, send us a message. But we hope that this instructional video gave you some tips and insights into different things that we did making this kit. But as you see, it is absolutely gorgeous. It can be used for so many different things, and we hope that you enjoyed. Remember that Close to My Heart does come out with tons of specials throughout the months. They are not in the catalog, so you are going to want to keep checking on the website. But we will see you next time on our next Make It Monday.